Hey guys, it's Jess. Welcome back to my channel, and I am one of those people who spent over 500 hours on Animal Crossing. 510 hours to be precise. Me, along with pretty much everyone and their dog, has been playing Animal Crossing in lockdown, and I got Animal Crossing and New Horizons on the day it came out, and I played it pretty much every day for a good few months. Thank you for keeping my mental health in check during lockdown. So I thought it would be fun to film a tour video and, you know, validate all of my hard work. As you would have seen from the title of this video, my island is Japan inspired. Japan is my all-time favorite place, and I am really sad that I can't go there this year, but instead I lived vicariously through Animal Crossing. If you are new to my channel, every year I go to Japan and I film a series of daily vlogs of my travels, except for this year because 2020. So a lot of the places that you will see in my Animal Crossing island are inspired by real life locations, so if you have been to Japan and you recognize some of these places, let me know in the comments below. If you guys would like to visit my island and take a little trip to Japan with me, I have uploaded my island to get a dream address. I will put it right here if you are interested in coming along and having a visit. So without further ado, let's get started. So this is the entrance to my island. It is currently springtime. I time traveled back to October 9th just so we could get the pretty cherry blossom trees. So yes, there was a little bit of time traveling. I do time travel when I'm impatient for buildings to move or for villages to move out and things like that. So I know that some people are really curious to know whether people time travel or not. I will show you guys my map. So this is the map of my island. My island is called Machi Isle. Machi in Japanese means town, so I thought that was a really cute name for my island. As you can see, my dream address is there down at the bottom too if you would like to come and visit my island. I have 3 different profiles so I can have 3 different houses. One of them is my house and the other 2 are different types of accommodation for your travel to my island. So I've got Jess, Ika and Anne, which is basically my name, Jessica Ann. And in terms of villages, I have Raymond, Deirdre, Genji, Marina, Molly, Diana, Shep, Judy, Dobie, and Zucker. I love them all. I think they're super, super cute. Also, as you can see from my map, I haven't done a whole heap of fancy terraforming, but there are definitely some big elevated areas throughout my island too. So let's get into the tour. Okay, so if we just head up the path and then turn right, this takes you to my Shibuya Station and Shibuya Crossing inspired area. This statue is kind of meant to be Hachiko if you're familiar with the Hachiko statue at Shibuya Crossing, and this here is my Shibuya Crossing. This is one of the last areas that I built on my island, so I didn't really have a lot of space to work with, but I think I made it work. And then if we just come back out, this is meant to be Shibuya Station. So you can buy one of your tickets, park your bike, and then if we head up the stairs, this is the actual station itself. I used the big TVs with the stalls to kind of look like advertising billboards, which I thought was really clever. Then if you just go past the station across the bridge, this takes you to the shopping mall. So this over here is the cafe inspired by the Starbucks in the Tsutaya building at Shibuya Crossing. It's also got a subtle reference to Persona 5. Then there is a little seating area where you can overlook the crossing and have your cup of coffee. If you are ever in Japan and you want to get a good view of the Shibuya Crossing, I highly recommend going to the Tsutaya Books Starbucks Cafe because you always get a really nice aerial view of the crossing. Sometimes it can get really busy though, so try and get there early. Then if we head behind the cafe, we've got a couple of different apparel stores. So I have a cute little sort of cottagecore inspired shop here. And then if we come around here, we've got more of a streetwear store. I thought this was really fun. And then we have a little nail salon as well. I thought this one really turned out well. You can come and get your nails done. And then if we just come down the stairs, I'm gonna loop back to Shibuya Crossing because that's where our first house is, and that house is actually a share accommodation. Let's go inside. So the kind of idea is that when you get off the train at Shibuya Crossing, you can then come to a share house to stay for your trip. So this is the common area of the share house. There's basically a bunch of table games and a couple of arcade games, plus a nice comfy seating area to play games or do a jigsaw puzzle. I wanted this to feel really communal, really inviting and welcoming, but also kind of contemporary and modern at the same time. So if we head off to the back room first, this is the shared kitchen. So there's a couple of different places to cook. There's a microwave, a coffee machine, a couple of cute little things on the wall, a big fridge because, you know, we got a lot of people coming and staying in this share house. And then I thought a nice touch was to have mismatching mugs on the table. Then if we go to the room on the right, that is the shared bedroom. Here I've got a lot of bunk beds, so it gives it a bit more of a hostel feel, plus some lockers and a little communal seating area. Then if we head to the room on the left, this is the bathroom. So this is the shared bathroom. It's just got a bunch of shower cubicles, a couple of sinks, also a little shared laundry as well. And then upstairs is probably my favorite room of the entire house. This is the rooftop. I loved the fireworks wallpaper that we got in August. There's a cute little seating area with a pool, and then there's also a space for you to hang up your laundry as well. So that is the first house, the share house, so let's keep going. Going back through the Shibuya crossing area is my residential services. There are a couple of gifts wrapped up here if you guys are interested in coming and visiting via my dream address. Some little outfit for you guys to wear on my island, which I thought would be really cute, so you could pick that up here. There's a little fountain area surrounded by cherry blossom trees. And then if we go back around towards the entrance of my island, I have this cute little beach path which leads down to my beach. I didn't really do too much with the beaches on my island. They're just kind of, you know, typically beachy inspired. They're not necessarily Japanese by any means, but it's just, you know, a little area to hang out on the beach because it is an island after all. Coming back over here, there's a little place to park your bikes. And then if you go through here, this is inspired by the Fuji Shibazakura festival that I went to a couple of years ago. They're famous for, I think they're called phlox flowers. It's moss phlox. It's basically beautiful purple and pink flowers that completely cover the grass, and it is really, really gorgeous. I did actually go in at one of my Japan vlogs, so if you are curious in checking that out, go and have a look at season 1 of my Japan vlogs. There was also a little area where you could get a foot bath at the festival, so I included that here as well. And then coming back up here, we have my food market. This is inspired by Osaka and Dotonbori. They have a huge, like, big street full of food stalls and restaurants, so that's what inspired this area. You can even line up for food because it's Japan. So there are lots of little stalls here. There's a tea stall, a soup stall, a okonomiyaki stall. I just customized one of the outdoor tables and I think that looks really, really cute. There is a little ramen booth. And of course, this is actually where I put Zucker's house because he is a takoyaki octopus and his house actually looks like a food stall inside. So if we go past the market area, there is a cute little bridge. This is a really good spot for you to actually see the lanterns at nighttime. It's really beautiful. So if we just walk down here, we have another little beach, and then we've got my museum. I didn't really do anything fancy for my museum. A lot of people have big extravagant entrances to theirs, but I just kind of, you know, there's a Tyrannosaurus Rex skull and that's kind of it. But if we head up here, I've created a garden sort of park area inspired by Nara Deer Park. In Nara, there are a lot of deer that freely roam around the town and the park, and it's really cool. You can go and feed the deer, you can buy deer crackers to give to them, and you know, take photos of them, pat them, hang out with them. It's really great. So of course I had to put Deirdre's house up here because Deirdre is a deer, so she makes sense for her to be up in Nara. And then if we just head up here, this area is inspired by Nakameguro Sky Garden. It's a beautiful rooftop garden above a huge building in Nakameguro in Tokyo, and they have a whole bunch of beautiful flowers. I went there once during sunset and it was absolutely gorgeous. I also have a cute little picnic area and then some binoculars so you can look out at the view. So coming back down now towards the entrance of my museum, again back to the beach, I have a little sort of seafood market stall area. So this basically just extends off of my pier. There is a little sort of seafood restaurant where you can sit by the ocean and have your meal. Then there's also a fun little like fish pond area for the kids to hang out, and then you've got the fishing pier. Up past the riverbank, this is where my sort of Kyoto inspired area is. So I have a cute little sort of a market stall. This is exactly like the street market outside of Fushimi Inari Shrine, which are famous for their red torii gates. So you get them shaved ice, a bento box, and then this leads into my Nook's Cranny, which I've just sort of hidden away in here. It took me so long to get all of these ice skates because I couldn't make a snowman for the life of me. So one of my friends ended up having to craft all of these and then send them over. So thank you. And then as you come out of the gates, it leads to a secret little shrine. This actually looks gorgeous at nighttime because I use the moon item, but it is kind of sunset, so you can kind of get the idea. Keeping in theme with Kyoto, if we just head back now towards my Nook's Cranny and then up the stairs over here, we have my onsen. This is one of the very first builds that I did very early on in the game as soon as I got terraforming, and then I gradually sort of tweaked it as time went on, but it's one of my favorite areas of my island. So first, once you have confirmed your booking, you can head straight on in. So over here we have the dining area as well as the change rooms towards the back. Just like a nice little lounge where you can hang out before you go and jump into the hot spring. So here we have the hot spring itself. I've got a couple of the onsen bars, a couple of the wooden ones, plus some of the tatami beds so you can, you know, hang out. There's also a really nice view of Mount Fuji from the baths. Just outside of the onsen is my ryokan. So a ryokan is a Japanese inn. So think very traditional Japanese accommodation. There's also a couple of gifts outside here too if you feel like changing your outfit. So let's head inside. So as soon as you walk in, there is a beautiful tatami room where you can chill out and have some tea, as well as some screens which lead out into the outer courtyard. So I tried to make this like a traditional tatami room, which tends to have screen walls that move and then lead out into a outer area. So we just jump out here. This is the courtyard. So it's just like a, you know, little enclosed courtyard. There's some storage, a little area to hang up some washing, as well as some lanterns and bamboo. We also have a restaurant as part of the ryokan, which is the room off and to the left. This is just a traditional kind of little izakaya restaurant. You can come and share a meal with your friends. And then the room on the right is the actual accommodation itself. So this is also a tatami style bedroom. I actually stayed in a ryokan on my very first trip to Japan when I was on a school trip, and it was such a great experience. I highly recommend it to anybody. So this is the shared bedrooms. There's just a little changing area as well as some futon to sleep on. And then if we head downstairs, this is actually the ofuro, so it's the shared bathroom. So in the ryokan that I stayed in, there was a big communal bath as well as communal showers, so this is very much inspired by that. So we've got a big communal bath in the center, some showers along the wall, and then some change rooms along the back with some lockers. There's also a little area towards the back where you can sit down and have a drink. Now if we head upstairs, there's pretty much nothing upstairs. I just tried to make it look like you climbed the roof of the ryokan and you have a beautiful view over the fields. But there's nothing really special about this room, except maybe the gong. And that is my ryokan. So that's kind of the Kyoto inspired area. Now we move on to something a little bit more modern. So I better get changed back into normal clothes. And just outside is Takishtadori. Takishtadori or Takishita Street in Harajuku is famous for cute fashion, crepes, anything sweet, pink and sparkly. A lot of the stalls along here are inspired by real life places that I've been to in Takishtadori. So we've got Toddy Candy Factory, which do amazing rainbow fairy floss. We've got WC, which is one of my favorite fashion stores in Harajuku. We've got a Lolita fashion shop. Then here we have a cute little ice cream shop, which is inspired by one of the places that I went to on my, I think my 5th trip to Japan. We've got a little manga stall. We've got a tiny little cafe. And then back here is actually a purikara booth, so where you can take photos on sticker paper. It's really fun to do with your friends. I highly recommend it. Heading back now through Takishita Street, we head into my residential area. So I've kind of grouped most of my houses together in little blocks. So we've got Marina's house, which has a little beach out the front. We've got Raymond's house where Judy is currently hanging out, and it looks like Raymond has a castle. We've got a little laundromat. Let me know if you know where this reference is from. Over here we have Shep's house. His house is kind of inspired by like backyard camp out. And then if we just head behind Shep's house, I kind of made it so all of my houses have a back way and a front way to get in. We have this little alleyway street. We have Dobie's house, which has some books, a record player and a rocking chair out there because, you know, he's old man Dobie. Then we've got Judy's house, which is a bit more like garden-y, almost like Alice in Wonderland-y themed. And then off to the side of Takishtadori is the Able sisters, because in Harajuku Jingumaya, which is kind of what I call the back streets of Harajuku, they have a lot of really cool fashion boutiques. So of course my Able sisters had to go here. Then we've got Genji's house. He just has a kotatsu outside, which makes no sense, but I thought it was cute. And then if we head up the stairs, we go to the next level of my residential area. We have Diana's house. We have a little shrine that I made. Just, you know, a lot of the times in Japanese residential areas, you'll find small little shrines kind of tucked away in the streets. Then we've got Molly's house. There's a little pond out the front. And then we have my rock garden. Now this isn't an actual rock garden with the, you know, smashable rocks. That's just all of the rock items that I could find because I don't have the patience to do a rock garden. I thought this was good enough. We've also got one of the Lily of the Valleys because yes, I do have a 5-star island. Back here, I also have a little farm area. This is just like a little rice paddy where Marina is currently fishing. So here I basically just planted coconuts and bamboo shoots to kind of give us that, you know, rice paddy feel, because they don't actually grow unless you plant them, you know, with enough space around each other. So kind of, they're just forever young. Then if we come down here, this is my campsite area. There's nothing too special about my campsite because it doesn't really hugely fit the theme of my island, so I just gave it a small little dedicated area. But I did build a little playground over to the right, so that kind of counts as part of my campsite, I guess. Nothing too fancy. Then we come to the final house, which is my house. My house was kind of inspired by Osaka Castle with the layers of, you know, the building, but I mean the inside isn't Osaka Castle inspired because it's just my house. I really like my front yard. I just have a little place to hang up your washing. This is my crafting space. I've got a little onsen over here, just a little, you know, personal one. And then a outlook so I can gaze at the stars. So let's go inside. My house is more just like my house. It's no real, you know, Japan theme or anything. It's just, you know, the place in which I live. Over on the left, I have my kitchen. My kitchen is kind of high-rise apartment inspired. I freaking love the wallpapers that Sahara has, and this room looks really good with the lights on or the lights off, but I will quickly switch them off. How cool does that look? I really love it. I think it looks really cool. I'd love to live in an apartment like this. Over to the right, we have my bathroom. So my bathroom just has, you know, all of the typical, you know, bathroom things, but it's got a wooden screen shower and a little laundry area as well, which I think looks really cute. Heading towards the back, this is my bedroom. This is one of my favorite rooms. I just love how all of the white wood furniture work together. And generally I keep the lights off because I just like the, you know, natural ambiance that it creates. And of course we have Stardew Valley playing on the laptop. Do you guys play Stardew Valley too? I feel like a lot of people are either Animal Crossing or Stardew Valley fans. I love them both. Then we've got my basement. My basement is kind of like a game slash rumpus room with also a little bit of a filming area. So it's just kind of a, you know, rumpus room where you can, you know, read, hang out. Then my upstairs is a little bit different. This is actually inspired by my favorite place in Japan, Kyoto Mizudera Temple. It has the most beautiful view. And so I decided to recreate it with one of the wallpapers from Sahara. So that is my island tour. I hope you guys enjoyed it, coming along and seeing all of the Japan inspired places that I am missing very, very much in lockdown. I would absolutely love it if you guys visited my island. So don't forget to check out my dream address and let me know in the comments below what you thought of my island. I'd love to hear that, especially because I spent over 500 hours on it. So for now, stay safe, take care, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye.